And today, on this beautiful, glorious, hot-headed Sunday, I have the pleasure to spend a whole hour with another entrepreneur. Some of you may really know her. She is all over the place. Let me tell you, you have to have hustle. You have to have hustle in order to be able to achieve what Miss Adeline Sede has been able to achieve over the last 5 years. And her experience is just so incredible that I needed to speak to her. But disclaimer, guys, she's my friend. So this conversation is going to get down and dirty. So if you do not want a down and dirty call, this may not be for you. But everyone, let's say hi to Adeline. Hi.
Hello. Hello, Gwen.
Hi, yeah.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm all right, girlie. I'm okay. I'm good.
You're good. All right. So let me stop. Let me ask the first question. Where on this planet Earth are you?
Just got back from Togo. Just got back from Lome, and I'm in Douala, actually.
Oh, nice. It's not, okay, it's hot there too.
Douala. Mm.
Nice. Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for doing this. I know you've been on one of my other calls when we had CEO of Avamba, Ms. Viola, here, but I did hint to our viewers that you would be seeing Miss Adeline because Miss Adeline has done so much work from scratch, and I mean from scratch, right? And this call, she's really going to teach us and talk to us about how she's made these connections from scratch to building this multifaceted empire that she has, where she globetrots, right? I want to be like her. I want to globetrot, but most importantly, I want to impact lives. So let me read you a little bit about Adeline's bio. She's the founder and publisher of FabAfriq magazine and currently runs a PR firm, public relations firm in Cameroon and in Europe. A change leader and inspirational speaker with over 15 years of experience, she has expertise working across different areas in the corporate, business, and community world. She's committed to delivering quality projects in corporate, public relations, and communications, change management, executive coaching, as well as a few other things. She has a BA in corporate communications and master's in human resource management from Coventry University from the United Kingdom, and other professional qualifications such as CIPD, Prince 2, and DIP in business administration. She gained hands-on experience in human resources working in different HR projects with one of the largest employers in Europe, which is the Birmingham City Council, and subsequently became a consultant. Among some of her expertise are change management, people management, strategic HR, and she has led many strategic and restructuring projects, leading to such successful changes in management and in implementations and other various areas of projects. Adeline launched a lifestyle magazine, FabAfriq.com, and if you have not been there, I suggest you go now and click FabAfriq, and Afriq is F-A-F-R-I-Q, but it's one word. Fab, F-A-B, while working as a project and communications analyst. So she started this company while she was still working. A lot of entrepreneurs do that, right? You kind of start the hustle while you have a regular, joyless occupational bond. But you always start the hustle. In 2016, Adeline launched a Pan-Excellence in People Management Initiative for Change called the Corporate Awards and the Corporate Woman in Leadership Program. I want to be a part of that. For all you female entrepreneurs out there, you want to be a part of this. She's very active in her community as a Secretary General of Africa 2.0, Cameroon chapter, and the Global Secretary and African Chair of Global Visionary Women Network. Adeline invests in inspiring and empowering young leaders through speaking engagements, and her clients include, now hold on to your seats, okay? This is why I'm telling you she hustles. I mean, you see her every day, but here are her clients. Echo Bank, Sanofi, American School of Douala, Tradex Petroleum, Adax Petroleum, Achuca Maritime, Ethiopian Airlines, Ovamba Solutions, Kmart Groups, Caratino Palm Oil in the UK, Ilongo Gardens Hotel, Starland Hotel, Pullman Hotel, Nestle, Yumi, G4S Securities. Yes, I know you know all those companies, and I just listed it to you. They're her clients. She's married to a very supporting husband and has 3 beautiful children. Help me welcome the one and the only Miss Adeline Sede Kanga.
Hello. Wow, my bio hasn't felt so good. You're such a great reader.
I try. I
Oh
want
my
people
God,
to
was
know
that
what you
me?
did.
Was that me?
That was you. That was you. That was all you.
Wow.
And I've seen
Wow.
you hustle. So I can attest. I've seen you in your element. We will be out having drinks and she'll be hustling. Just this is Adeline for you. It's always all business. So for our viewers today, what's really important is that when Miss Adeline started this, it's not like she had connections. It's not like her father was minister of territorial something, or her dad was, the general assembly manager or vice president of something. She started this by herself. And the reason why I wanted to rattle off all these different companies is because she had to create her own connections. So I'm sure you, and definitely me, want to know how to go about creating this number of connections so that you can situate yourself, position yourself so your clients can come to you, so you can offer those services that they need. How do you get your foot in the door? So Miss Adeline, how were you able to get this all started?
Wow, I'm so happy to be here speaking to you guys. You must have seen me around and about, and now you're listening to me. Thank you, ETAAN, for giving me the opportunity to talk about myself. I usually talk about other people and not myself. So 2019, I think I want to spend a lot more time talking about myself because there's so much I want to give out there. Let me start from my beginning. It's quite humble. I come from a very humble background, and my father was a teacher. And I grew up in a little beautiful place called Kumba, if you know about that, where from childhood they teach you how to hustle. There is a popular saying we all say that Kumba no the carry last. It simply means if you are from Kumba, simply means if you are from Kumba, you are a go-getter. You just go get it and out of it. So a few years ago, as my bio says, I used to work in both the public and the private sector, and I have learned the skills of connecting with people, talking to people, and I think my natural charm is something that has put me into very, very favorable positions. A few years ago, I moved to Cameroon with my husband, who was here for on a program, and I had launched my magazine in Cameroon. I had one agenda when I was coming to Cameroon. I was coming to Cameroon to launch and run FabAfriq magazine, the African lifestyle magazine that made so much buzz in the UK, print and online. And while on the ground, I realized, it's not easy for you to just get up, do things, and succeed. So I started tapping into some of my expertise. What is it that I have that other people don't have? Or what is it that I have that other people do have, but that I can use better? And I invested a lot of my time working on community projects and supporting community initiative, giving my all, being there, being the main focus. When I did the launch of my event at Meridian Hotel back in the days, I received more than 20, I received between 20 to 50 top CEO, like the C level, not just the CEO. It was really exciting because I haven't thought about that. It wasn't something I had planned. I had only just come back to Cameroon. I wasn't up to, I came in October and I was launching in December.
So take us back for a second, because these CEOs did not just show up. Let's be clear. Okay,
No,
so
they
you
do
did
not.
something. What did you do? Because you also mentioned that you have a charm. I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you just using it? It comes naturally to you, or do you work to make sure that you leverage that gift, which is your charm? Because these CEOs just did not show up.
Gwen, there was something about being in business, which you call connect, which you call speaking the language.
Okay.
So the first thing I did was I find out who is who in Cameroon. And the
How?
minute you
How
The
did
minute,
you do that?
the minute you know the one who,
Okay.
the minute you know the one who, you can get to all the who's. Now I know so
Oh.
many, I know so many people who know the one who, but can't get to the next who.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know why?
Why?
The quality of the product that you throw out there will determine if these people will run to you or not.
Got it.
I don't know if you understand me.
No, I get you. 100%.
It's about mastering the things that you do, understanding how to talk with them, understanding how to communicate with them, product knowledge,
Okay.
giving it to them, selling it to them, and get them to understand that if they're not part of it, then they're not part of anything.
So the connection you made was with the first one, but
Yes,
you had mastered your product and service,
exactly.
and you were
Exactly.
able to present it in a manner
Yeah,
that made them feel that if they did not get involved, they would be missing out.
exactly. Exactly. So I think the first thing is the minute the first person know who you are, people don't just ditch out their contacts like that.
Right.
People don't just send you to anybody.
Right.
People need to first of all believe in you, believe in what you're offering, understand your agenda. You must have a clear agenda.
Mm-hmm.
You must have a great ethics. You
Do
must
you
know
think
how
that
to speak.
that takes time? If I'm a new entrepreneur and I'm just watching this for the first time, or maybe I'm an entrepreneur and I'm stuck somewhere in the middle and I'm not able to get into the milieu. I have this really fascinating product. I just need one or two people to know about it. How do you
I think
suggest I go get the first one? And what should I bring with the first one to give me credibility so he can tell the next 10?
I want to be a little bit. I want to go a little bit off track, but I'll come back on track.
Okay.
Where you are is truly important. A few days ago, I was in Lomé for 2 days to deliver a C-suite event, and I met one of my colleague, one of my clients actually. We were just having, knocking off some tequilas, and I told her I traveled first class, and she was like, "You do?" I said, "Yeah," and she was so surprised. I was like, "Why would you travel first class just to come to Lomé?" I said, "Because when I land there at the airport, I want to make sure I am in the VIP suite. When I'm in the VIP suite, I want to see who is there. When I see who is there, I want to connect to who is there." I mean, you just
Mm.
need to do the high level marketing for your product and for yourself. In order for you to meet the right kind of people, you must invest money as well as understand what you want to achieve while doing that.
Got it. So
And you
you'll
can never
go ahead.
get it wrong, because these people, they won't come to the second class and meet you.
Yeah.
They won't queue up on immigration with you. No, they're somewhere drinking a good cup of coffee or just some champagne or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
you want to be right there with them.
So, Adeline, let me ask you this: do you, because I know the answer, do you just walk up to someone and say, "Hi, I'm Miss Adeline Kamga"? I mean, what do you do? I've never met
That's
anybody
that's
before.
that's the thing. That's what I do. Okay, for example, I'll give you an example. I'm not going to call names, but when I landed Lomé a few days ago, I sat in the in the lodge, and I was just looking around. I saw someone I recognize, and you know immediately I went on his Twitter account because I know he's quite big on Twitter. I went on he's a banker, a big one. I went on his Twitter account and I grabbed the last three things that he said. So I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, I'm Adeline. I've got a very easy way of doing this because it's these people, they need human contact as well. I like, hey, I am Adeline and I admire your work. The other day I saw you on Twitter talking about this. I mean, I just Googled it at that time. I just found out that information at that time. But I told him that, oh, I've been following you on Twitter. And the other day I saw you talking this. I shared their opinion and I kind of build my conversation around what they do. At that point, it's not about me. I've introduced myself. I'm Adeline. I don't even say I work for a magazine or I own a PR agency. No, no, no. I'm just Adeline, and I've been following you on social media and truly admire your work. I think what you're giving out there, we really need it. So I kind of tell you I have bought your product. I've bought you. And I kind of thank you for being you and for doing the things that you do. If you need that business card, you must let them know that you appreciate, you admire their work. And then you get the business card. You don't ask. I never ask for business cards in my whole life. I get you to give me your business card.
You don't ask for business
No,
cards?
no, I don't. Because when you converse with someone, I've learned in networking that business cards are supposed to be offered to you. The minute you ask, of course, the minute you ask for a business card, it shows you are, I don't know if you understand what I mean.
No, I do.
Yeah, you need to give them a reason to want to stay in contact with you.
So, guys, this is, it's a light bulb moment. Okay. Do not go around begging people for their business cards, y'all.
Not at all, no.
Do not beg. What you need to do is if you have had an eloquent, succinct conversation and you have formed that rapport, they will offer you their business card.
Definitely.
That's why we have ETAAN talks.
That was just in the lodge, and then follow up, same trip. I checked in my hotel, went down for coffee, sat in the bar, took a cup of coffee, and there was this guy, sitting next to me, and we were just chatting, and conversation leading to the other, and another business card.
And so you've left Lome with 2 business cards from 2 people you met from a VIP situation.
More, but these 2, I'll just say it because it all happened around conversations that wasn't planned, but they were premeditated. Because the action, the moment you decide to get your ticket, for example, to go on a trip, is you premeditate what you would like to achieve for that money that you spend.
Got it. I am never flying anything other than first class in the continent of Africa anymore. That's it. No more.
In the continent, yeah. Out of Africa, I don't think I can afford it because it might be too expensive.
You will.
Well, let me put it that way. But in the continent, I do try as much as possible to fly first class.
So this is awesome. So I'm going to throw a wrench because that was awesome. And again, guys, I hope you guys heard this, right? It's, you plan, because I have another girlfriend who says, I always travel business class or first class. I want to treat myself. But truth be told, within that environment, you will find the right like-minded people like you if you are a serious entrepreneur. But there are those of us who are very timid and shy. And those of us who don't feel like we want to intrude. What can you say to that person who is what I would call an introvert, who is sitting in the lounge and right next to them is the CEO of Dangote? What would you say to that person to get them to go up and speak to Mr. Dangote to the point where Mr. Dangote says, I need to take your number? What should be their mindset and their motivation?
Gwen, networking is something that you build over the years.
Okay.
Networking is not something that you get up in the morning and you start, hey, I'm networking. Networking is a skill. It's an art. It's an art that needs to be mastered.
Got it.
And if you are a shy person, what I'll tell you is you need to write at least 6 lines. 6 lines simply means, what are the things that you want to talk about? I'm not talking about traffic or weather. I'm talking about some serious things, some serious things. You need to educate yourself with about your environment.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you're in the lounge and you say you're in Paris, for example, or in Dakar, wherever. What is the current situation of that country? So before you even go there, you need to have your lines ready, because your lines are these key points which can easily open new conversation. It's one thing to be shy. It's another one to be very knowledgeable. It's another thing to be a conversationalist, conversationalist, someone that people like to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to look at these three things. Which one are you? Are you just shy? Are you shy because you don't know what to say? Are you shy because you don't want to connect with people? Now, if you're an entrepreneur or a business person, you will know what is good for your business. If you think you can't reach out to people, then you have to invest in a PA that can, and you need to get her along with you if you're going on these important business trips. Because someone needs to do that for you. I mean, I'm a PR executive. I love talking, so it comes natural for me. It's easy because this is what I do for my clients.
That's interesting, because I wouldn't have even had that. I'm so glad we're talking, because what you're saying is, if you know you're an introvert, which is what I'm gonna, and if you're an introvert, there's nothing wrong with being introvert. It's just your personality, your style. But if you know that, so the first thing is you have to know that. Once you know that, then get someone to go with you. I didn't think that. I was gonna say, go learn, go teach yourself. But you're right, that might be harder to do, especially if your mindset is not prepared for it. I might not be willing, able, for whatever reason, to go teach myself how to be more outspoken and less shy. But if you hire a PA, a personal assistant, or better yet, you hire a public relations firm, they can do that for you. Ha! Light bulb moment again. Got it. This is great. This is great. So your connections are really based upon you, your personality. You sell yourself first.
Yes, you sell yourself first. You sell yourself first. And you cannot sell yourself if you don't know what you're selling. So product knowledge, I'll say, is the first thing. And throwback, when I did my launch, I told you I had between 20 and 50 CEOs, like big guys, on that day. And 1 year after that, I hadn't even reached out to 4 of them. Ask me why.
Why, Miss Adeline?
Because you don't have to. You don't need to exhaust the people on your list. You need to make sure you have something tailored for everyone, because they might come in their number to an event that you throw, but each and every one of them have their own priority. You need to make sure the moment is right. You need to make sure what you have is what they need. You need to make sure there's a gap you're trying to fill in the business that they run.
Interesting. So let me rephrase that in a way that makes sense to me. What you're saying to me, because this is great. Because like I will go and I'll get all these cards, right? And it's all the training. And then I come home the next day, pop, and I put the cards down, I put my phone, and I start ringing. Hello, bonjour, we met yesterday, such and such. Thank you so much for giving me your card. I really appreciate it. I would just like to keep in touch with you. I'll be able to connect with you next week. I mean, maybe we can have lunch. I cannot do that?
That's it. No, you cannot do that. Let me tell you something else that I do. I do the picture stuff. I record the picture, because I can walk in the room and there are 30 people. Trust me, I'm going to come out of that room with 3 business cards. And those 3 business cards are people who will never forget me, because I'm going to have a kick-ass conversation with you. Plus, I'm going to do a selfie with you. So when I go home or go back to the office, I will send you a nice little email, attach the picture, just to let you know, oh, if you didn't know, this is me with that beautiful hair, that hair that you like, or that funny hair. And then that is it.
The girl with the funny hair?
The girl with
the funny hair. I love that. That's amazing. Okay, let me see, because, geez, guys, notes, write this down. You meet someone. If you meet the person, you want to follow up, but not that way. You do not want to take up their time until you have something tangible, but you do not want them to forget you. Take a picture, take a selfie, send them an email. Hi, this is Gwen. We met yesterday. It was a pleasure talking to you. and send a picture. Look forward to sharing information with you in the future. Send it, you're done. That's it.
That's it. That's it. That is it.
Amazing. Then reach out to them once you have the tangible, concrete information, concrete agenda, so you don't go there looking like a fool.
Exactly. Most of the time, people just, oh, I know the director of this, I know the director. I'm like, yeah. We all do. At the end of the day, what you have to offer that really matters.
So knowing the director of this and the vice president of this and the director adjoint of this or the bodyguard of this
doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter. It's you.
It's you and what you have to offer that matters.
Okay.
It's you. Some people just want to, I feel some people just want to, oh, this person is my friend. Oh, I dine with this person. Oh, but to me, I mean, at this age, I would say you can only give what you have. If you don't have something to give, I have a magazine, trust me, but I'll never go to the director of, for example, Bolore, who is a close friend to me, and say, hey, why don't you get your communication department to advertise in my magazine? I don't do that. I don't even send my sales team there. I don't do it. Because by the time they know that, okay, she's coming to me with a magazine, the minute you have something bigger, you can't even go there. Because you've gone there with something so small.
I'm glad you said that, because I met with Bolore and his assistant, and interestingly enough, I'm not reached back out to them because they're ready.
Yeah.
But when I will be ready,
exactly,
you better know I'm going to be knocking down their door. Right? You're so right. You're so right. Now, yes. The connections that you have, there's this other component to it, right? Yes. You have one connection. You bring the tangible, concrete information. Then you present it to them. When you're saying concrete, tangible, I want you to be really specific and clear. What does that mean? Because some people think that they can go stand there and present with your mouth, which some people have the gift of garb. But what are some of the other artifacts or things that you need to have that's a key or a key checklist to say, you know what, you need to have this in order for you to move to the next level?
I realized that people love quality stuff in Cameroon, a lot of quality stuff. But I also realized that it doesn't really matter, because even if you have something that is not quality, they're going to buy if they want to buy. So before you actually go on to meet someone with something concrete that you have, first, as I said, you need to understand the concrete stuff of what you have. Secondly, you need to have a great presentation. It could be 1 minute, it could be a booklet, it could be a pamphlet, it could be a website, it could be a video. It doesn't really matter. And then when talking to this person, you don't just go there and say, hey, I have this that I want to show you. No. Once you know there is something that you want to present, then you start building that small talk, you start building that small relationship. And then you meet up with them. And you say, right, I've been telling you about this and that and that. I think I am now ready to present the final version to you. Because the minute you call and say, hey, I'm Adeline, we met 6 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 4 years ago, it's a little bit, except you really have a unique hairstyle like mine, but people tend to forget.
No, you're right. You're right.
No,
you're right.
I'm not saying you all to go put in my hairstyle, because this is me. This is so Adeline. I don't want to say that.
It is. It is. But it works for you, because it makes people have to remember you.
Exactly. It does. It does. It does. Trust me. A lot of conversations, big conversations started around my hairstyle. From people you will least believe. People you will least expect.
So first of all, your checklist, get your checklist, make sure you have something tangible in your hand, make sure you're knowledgeable, you can communicate. And then when you go there, make sure you're ready to present. And then have something that will make you stand out. If you can do your hair, good. If you can't, too bad. But let me ask you something.
Yeah.
What if I'm not in Cameroon? What if I'm not on the continent? I'm in the diaspora. What are my chances of making these connections?
You know, a lot of people come back from, a lot of people in the diaspora have this notion of, because I'm here, you're there, I'm better than you. Things have evolved. Things have changed in Cameroon. We don't even care if you live in space or if you live in, in Jupiter. In Cameroon, what we care about is, what is the gap you're going to fill now? How are you going to help my business to make money? How are you going to help my business to stand out? How are you going to help my image to be at the top? That is what people care about really in Cameroon. They don't care if you're in Jericho or Jerusalem. So if you think there is something you have to offer and something that you have to get your butt down there and offer it. Except you're just buying clothes and selling. Then people don't need to see you. But if you're in the service industry, you have to be here.
Yeah, I won't speak much for other parts of the continent, but I do know that in the Western Hemisphere, where we are in America, Canada, I don't know about England so much, but, and you can probably tell me more about England. We're so okay. We broker major deals over the phone, and then we communicate via email. And then when it comes time to, there's a misunderstanding, we do it via the phone. And we're able to establish and maintain connections over the phone. A good example, you and I had never met for a while before we met, but we had never met, but we established a rapport over the phone via social media. In Cameroon, I don't know, it doesn't work. No. Why? Why is that?
Unfortunately, people believe in the physical. I mean, I run an office in Douala. My family is in England. I have to make that move all the time, purely because the minute you're not there and people know that you're not there, your business is just standing and waiting for you to come back. The clients know you're not there. Your staff cannot fill your shoes. People believe in the physical contact with the decision maker in order for them to operate.
Is that a mentality that we should change? I say that because it's one of my biggest struggles, right? The company that we have is in Cameroon. I live in the United States. I go there every so often, but I can say that my permanent home is primarily right now the United States.
Exactly.
So how do I make a business move, create more connections if I'm here and people only want to see me face to face? You're saying I'm doomed?
Well, I don't think you're really doomed, but but I think you stand less chances of actually making it. But let me tell you some of the things that I've been doing in the last 1 year, since September last year. I've been investing a lot of time in my staff. I've been pushing them in front of clients. I mean, I've been trying to push them to be client facing. And some clients just pull out. Some clients stay. And some disloyalty happen. And I mean, it's very weird how people believe in the person who is doing it there, and there. Now, the next thing they ask themselves is, okay, she's not the one doing it. This person is the one doing it. So I might as well just work with this person. And they make you an offer. And if you are someone who is not strong enough, someone who is not loyal, that is how you go pick your boss's clients and start your own stuff. So in order for
if they're sharp. So if you have I see what you're saying. So you have to be careful when you have those connections. You have to nurture them, because if you're not there and you start having your employees represent you, there is a possibility for your employees to take your connections and run.
Yeah, very. Now, another thing I want you to understand is that most of my connection at the higher level, once I once I establish that high level conversation with you and you love what I present and you accept to get me to work with you, you are not the one that I work with or that my staff work with, for example. Because there are people down there who are the people who should work with service providers.
Right, 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 right.
And this is a point where after a 1 year contract, the second year, you start getting people asking you for, so what is my own in this one? Now, the way I build my relationship with the top, it's I don't go if you successfully place me in your company or offer me opportunity to work with your team, and after our initial contract, if it doesn't work, I don't go back to you saying, oh, you know, this guy ended the contract or whatever, whatever. No. I continue to build my relationship with you, but then I stop working with you because maybe your team down there don't want to work with me anymore. I don't go crying. I don't go back to you say, oh, you know, this guy. No. Because at the end of the day, people have to do what they have to do. That's Cameroon for you. I've got a lot of clients that after the initial contract, it just ended, but I've remained great friends with the directors. Great friends. Yeah.
So these connections you've maintained, have they benefited you in other ways?
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. They have because there is something called referral.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very good at getting referral of people.
That's nice. So it's interesting you bring up a point about Cameroon, and it's a sad situation because a lot of what you talk about is integrity. If you work for a company, you're not supposed to go behind them and take their clients. In fact, one of the things I have my employees do is sign a non-disclosure confidential agreement, because you can't take the information from here and then go start your own thing. I'm coming after you, right?
Yeah.
That being said, if could we put the onus on the employer, on the owner, on the CEO? Because if you have in place the right processes, you should be able to avoid losing your clientele to your employees. You shouldn't you?
You mean as a small business or as the big business? You mean as a small business?
Maybe there's a difference. Maybe there's a difference, and maybe I'm not paying attention to that. As a small business or as a big business, you tell me. Shouldn't you have in place the processes that should enable you to not lose your clients to your employees? You've worked hard, you've established these connections. How come your employers are able to take these connections right out under you?
You know, Gwen, something that we are neglecting, or something
Okay.
that we are ignoring, is the thirst of some people. Some people are so thirsty. And if you meet someone on the other side who is as thirsty as you, then there is nothing you can do. Whether you have mama processes or papa procedures, you're on your own. Because when two thirsty people meet, there is one thing that they need. They need a drink.
Mm.
I don't know if you understand. So
I got you.
if I am charging 100,000, for example, for a small business, for a small job, and I have a staff and who is working on that job, and in that company giving me that opportunity or that client's network, that client has a staff who is a person, you know, signing off the contract. Because I come from the top, it is very difficult for people to propose things to me. Because I've been recommended by the MD or the GM or the CEO. So they want to deal with me on a different way, knowing that, oh, she's friends to the boss, and she might take whatever I say there. But 1 year later, I have successfully, you know, introduced maybe a staff or maybe a colleague into this project, and now we need to resign another contract, because Cameroon is like 6 months, 1 year. Now we want to sign a different contract. And as I said earlier, I never go back to the boss and say, oh, my contract was not renewed. No, I go back to the boss and say, hey, I think you know the director of Yumi. Would you mind introducing me? I don't know if you understand.
Yes.
So I go to the director for something else. I don't go to the director for, you know.
You don't go to complain. You don't go to whine.
No,
You don't go to
no, I don't
say,
go to whine at all.
I deserve this contract. I'm supposed to have it.
No.
And you were my conviction. I got it because of you. Therefore,
No, I don't. I don't. Because one thing I know is that I truly, the matter facilitated me getting that contract, that I do know my job.
True.
And
Have you ever had someone come back?
Oh yeah, lots of them. Okay. Lots of them. The one thing I've learned over the years is I truly don't take them back all the time. Yes, I don't.
Smart. Yeah.
Yes, I don't.
Tell us your motivation why you do not.
You know, once you start a business, your pricing reflects if you are a startup or an established business.
Okay.
When you have a client, your pricing determines. Now, once they've gone and they're coming back, they're expecting you to work with them on the same, at the same level. But as a service provider, every year my needs increases as well. Every year I have to maybe increase my staff salaries. Every year I need to recruit somebody to manage accounts. So my needs, financial needs, they grow as well. And if you're coming back to me, offering me the same money that you used to pay me 2 years ago, I just don't go for it. I don't.
So your connections can take a lesson from you every now and then. That's a good one. Let me ask you this. How do you feel about connections? Because you go all over. You're in Dakar this fall. You just got back from Lomé. You were in Ivory Coast. You did a conference there. Is it the same in Cameroon, dealing with individuals and connections as it is in these other nations in Africa, or is there significant difference?
One thing I want to tell you, Gwen, is that, and the viewers as well, is that it takes time to build a network. Right. To be honest, it takes time to build a network. And the success rates that I've had in these other countries are purely because I build a relationship with them on the phone, via email, in person, and also the person who introduced you to them. One thing I learned in Abidjan and in Dakar is the ability for them to make decisions on time. They can take forever to decide, and you can wait right up to the last day and they'll still tell you, oh yes, we will be together. Oh yeah, we're together. Oh yeah, we're on this together. We're in this together.
So the other places are just as finicky as we are in Cameroon.
Just the same.
That's good to know. It's good to know.
Because I've operated a lot in Francophone Africa, so I think it's a French thing.
Okay. Could be. It could definitely be.
It's a French thing.
It could be it could be a French thing.
It could. Yeah. But then the difference.
But you're still able to get it done.
Yes, I am. The difference, that's what I want to talk about. The difference is when you're working, especially with international companies, it's different. It's different because I make sure I don't only speak to the people in charge, but I speak to the directors. I can contact the office in America or the office in France or the office in England, and they will send me straight to the director. So information comes from the top to the bottom, and the bottom are mostly those who've been holding the file and shifting the file around. So I just find out who the big bosses are. Go on Twitter, connect with them, tell them this is what I'm doing, and I think your company will be better off being part of it, and just sell the product. And then next thing I know is that email. And I also have a recommendation. I also get recommended from the different countries. For example, if someone in Libreville, for example, with whom I've worked in the past, and I'm doing something in in Senegal or in Mauritius Island, I'll tell you, hey, like the hotels that are all the Radisson where I always host my events, I've created a strong relationship with the directors in a way that even if I'm going to Rwanda, for example, I can connect with the director of Radisson in Abidjan and I'll say, please, I'm going to Rwanda, I want to stay at a Radisson. Can I get a discount? Can you ask your, I mean, these are the small things I told you about that we grow up to the big things that you want to do. For example, in Cameroon, sometimes I'll call a director that I've not spoken to for 2 years. I've never done business with. I'll say, hi, Mr. Buma, is that you? This is Adeline. We met at. Oh, Adeline, how are you? I'm great. We try to raise funds for for a street children home that we're trying to build. I know you might have a lot on your plate, but I want to send an envelope. If you can please support, even if it's with 500 francs, 10 francs, I'll truly be. That's another connection that I've built.
Wow.
Because I've created a conversation that has something to do with big money or their job or their integrity. I'm not inviting them for lunch, nothing on earth. I'm not inviting anybody for lunch. They have to invite me for lunch.
So you are responding to their humanity. You're keying in on their humanity and saying, do your part. And yes, that is another connection because they know your heart to be one of philanthropic.
Exactly.
So when you come back now with something more business astute, astute in mind,
they have a track on me. Yeah.
Interesting. Very. You have studied this thing, girl.
I think I'm giving too much secrets.
I'm serious. You have because I'm glad because there are a lot of things that people don't realize, and then they struggle, and it becomes, oh my gosh, how am I going to take that money? How am I going to touch that money? And it really is just a matter of establish a relationship, sell yourself, be knowledgeable, and walk up to him. And when you see him, doesn't matter if he has 10 bodyguards, walk up, let the bodyguard stop you. Yes?
Yeah, just go. Just go to him, yeah.
When the bodyguard stops, you say, hey, I just want to be able to give him my card or something, you know?
No, you don't give them your card. You get them.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. But if they stop you, if the bodyguard man stops you, what do you say?
Well, I've never been in a position because once they see me coming, for example, I don't look like you have to make sure you're always presentable.
So now that's a whole nother topic, which is your connections are going to also be based on how you physically present yourself. If you are physically not in your element, and I'm telling you, I've heard these complaints all the time, Madame, I don't have the money you have. I'm like, you'd be surprised. It's not about money.
It's not about money.
It's not about money. I had an uncle who had one white shirt and one pair of black pants, but he kept that white shirt so clean all the time and those black pants that whenever he wore that combination, people thought he was just so in command of himself. You just need something that looks good that will allow people to let you through the door because you don't look like you do not belong there. So you have to fake it until you make it.
Exactly.
Girl, I got you a lot. This has been great. Now let me ask you this last question because I know that if I ask this question, people think that I'm crazy. With the number of connections you have you found out that your company has benefited and has grown because of that? Or does it just give you personality and into any tangible income for your firm? Does this convert into tangible income for your firm?
We have a policy, 1 a month.
Okay.
1 a month means a client a month. And we try so hard to at least follow this policy. I wouldn't say my connection has given me money or has helped my firm to grow. What I'll say is my integrity, my work ethics. I give what I promise. I deliver what I promise. I don't do it alone. No.
I love that. No. Don't do it alone. Do not do it alone.
Yeah. I started from 1 staff to 9 staff. And trust me, I have a very low employee turnover, very low. They all stay with me, they all stand by me, and we work together. We might have issues at times, and I'm very happy to say it because we're having a candid conversation here.
Right.
Sometimes it could be pay with regard to delaying salaries, but as a boss, you have to make it your business that no matter how long it takes, you make that payment, you make that salary, because these kids count on you. These kids work for you. These kids depends on you. So yes, I can say my connections have helped me to build my business from a one-man show to a 9-people show. But then this is purely because we have great work ethics. We deliver what we promise. We work with people. I get, each time there is a new contract, trust me, I employ somebody to handle that.
Amen.
We are tellers. You know, our motto is we aim, we shoot. We are tellers. Meaning we can tell her everything to suit you.
To suit you.
Besides, I have yours, she just started on Monday. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I cannot say it's not about the money. Of course, we all need money. But you need to share. You need to learn how to share. You need to learn how to give it to people.
And change other people's lives.
And change other people's lives. I have staff who've worked with me and left, and they contact me and they want to come back. I have others who said, boss, please, I don't want to go because I love working with you. Now, if you have a young woman who's been able to keep employees for 6 years, 5 years, know there is something great that she does.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a rarity. And so we know, I know you have employees who have built you. It's because you also share your heart. I see all the things you do. Your connections are not just with your clients. I see your connections with your employees. The other day, actually, I shouldn't call them employees. The other day, Ms. Ruth Tembe, PA, I interviewed her and she said she doesn't even call them her employees. She calls them her collaborators. I have seen you with your collaborators. I have seen you go above and beyond for them. I've seen you have parties for them and recognition ceremonies for them. All that is a connection.
It is. Last week we were knocking on some bottles of champagne, you know, because a project went so well.
I saw you. I got
celebrating every little success because they all add up.
They all do. They all do. And it keeps your firm, level-headed. People see the vision and they know that they're part of the vision because you form that connection. This has been awesome. This has been awesome. Let me ask you this. What's your favorite food?
Arrow.
You're like the third person I've interviewed who says arrow. And prior to like 15, 20 years ago, nobody used to eat arrow. Then all of a sudden, it became like the...
with fufu, not Gary.
I like it with Gary.
I love it with fufu. That smell.
I know.
Chop people.
Well, before you leave us, I want you to share with us your wisdom, what it is that you think that you can partake with an entrepreneur, be that they're stuck, be that they're just about to start, that will enable them to get the confidence to build the connections that they need, because you can't sell to yourself. I
think the first thing I need to do is to let them know that you first of all need to understand why you want to be an entrepreneur. But then secondly, you need to understand that it is okay to work for someone. I keep saying that. I run a program called the Corporate Women in Leadership, you know.
Yes.
And this program is designed to women in the corporate environment to help them stay there if they have to, and to help them grow the career ladder. This is purely because there's so much talk about entrepreneurship out there, and people feel if I don't do it, then I am missing out. You're not missing out on anything. You aren't. It's okay to work for someone. You can be working for someone and you have the time of your life. You can be an
Sure.
entrepreneur and you have the worst moment of your life. So first identify this is something you truly want to do. Secondly, learn your art, learn your craft. Before you go out there, make sure you know what you have to offer. Make sure you know what
Tangible.
you have to offer.
It's tangible.
And tangible. And when you connect to people, make sure it's not about you. Make sure it's more about them. What is it that you want to offer them? Don't go saying, oh, I do this, my friend do this, I do that. No. Find out what their friend needs and tell them how you will be able to fill that gap.
What is the value that you're bringing to their table
Exactly.
to fulfill their needs?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And above all, if it doesn't work, you always have the next option. You always have the next option. You can look for a job, grow, develop yourself again, and launch again. Because I am good at what I do because I've spent years working for kick-ass bosses, great bosses. Yeah, so I learned on the job. I just didn't get it one day and say, I want to be a, because I'm not producing, isn't it? I'm offering a service. I'm offering a service.
So feel free to fail. That's what you're saying. Feel free to fail. Fail and go do something and then maybe start again.
Yeah.
You
Some
know,
people
but
fail
feel
and
free
then
to
they just
fail.
start again. They fail and they just start again. When you fail, know that you fail for a reason.
Right.
Yes, you don't just fail
Right.
because you're that bad. You fail for a reason. Maybe, you know, you need to learn more. Maybe you need to grow. Maybe you need to develop yourself, get a mentor, get someone to coach you.
Exactly.
If worst come to the worst, get a job in what you want to do, learn from the best. Please don't steal your company's clients. Try not to do that. It can land you in prison.
Please, all of you out there, do not steal your company's plans. If you're unable to make it, fail forward, but leave the stuff behind.
Exactly.
That's a good one. I love that. Miss Adeline, can I just say thank you?
The honor is mine, Gwen. I've been looking forward to this. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry I've not been available when, you know, but now today I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get on that ETAAN and I'm going to say it as it is.
No, my assistant was worried. She's like, I've been trying to get a hold of her. I said, don't worry. She's my girlfriend. Well, we got this. Don't worry. We got this. You know, take off. We're going to have a ball. And we just did. We really just did. And just knowing that you're going to be hustling. I know you travel. I know your family's in the UK and you're in Douala and you're going to be traveling so much. Is there anything you want to share with our viewers that you're doing in the next few months that they might be interested in?
Yes. Actually, if any of you know anyone in Dakar, I want to hear from you. I'll be making a lot of trips to Dakar in the next few months because in November we're hosting another beautiful edition of the Corporate Awards where we'll be recognizing excellence in people management. So what we do basically is we find out what companies are doing, how they manage their employees, and we recognize them. So please connect me. Anyone in Dakar, I want to speak to them.
Oh, I can't wait. I definitely can't wait. I will definitely let them know.
You are coming for the Corporate Women in Leadership Dakar.
I am. I already made that promise. Dakar, I gotta come.
Yeah.
I'm
Dakar 2019. Exactly.
We're looking for a nice short-term rental that we're gonna showcase. So yeah, be on the watch out, viewers. Be on the watch out.
I have to be on the watch. Maybe we should partner. Maybe SAPEC can look for that renter, and that's where we can launch all our corporate award team coming from Cameroon.
We need to connect. See, connection. You hear connect. Okay.
Doing that already.
This is connection right here. This is connection. Networking connection. I just want to thank you. I do respect what you've done, not just for yourself and your family, but we have to also take it to that additional level. I know we want to be recognized as entrepreneurs, but we are female entrepreneurs, and there's an added responsibility. And I want you to do it with stride. And I know it's not easy. So I really respect everything you do, the advice you've given me, and my team is excited that we're going to be working with your team. So folks.
I'm looking so forward.
I am. We're going to change the world. FabAfriq magazine, It's online. Please go to Facebook. We're going to put a link on ETAAN, so you can go there and click on it. I was just scrolling through it just a few minutes ago, and I was looking at Beyonce's dress. I have some comments about that dress now. But yeah, go to the magazine. There are lots of interesting things that she talks and she brings to life about Cameroon. And you must imagine that it has taken a huge amount of time to create the network that she has to be able to pool that information and present it to you, the viewer. So take advantage of it, use it, move forward in your life, fail forward, leave the stuff you learned back in the company you took it from, but fail forward. Fail forward. This has just been an eye-opener. So many smart things. The most important thing I'm going to remember is do not give anyone your business card. Form a rapport and let them offer it to you.
Yeah. When they offer it to you, if they ask you, perfect. But don't go, there is my business card, I'm Adeline. Nobody calls you after that.
And on that note, folks, it's been great having you on this edition of ETAAN. We look forward to the next one. I'm going to let Miss Adeline go because it's 5 hours ahead where she's at 9 o'clock. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you, ETAAN. Thank you, sis.
Bye.
Bye. Woo.